Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Slightly Less Bald Tweak here today, back at it again with another BSG podcast video breakdown. So guys, we're going to go over all of the important stuff that was said in the podcast. Now, just a forewarning, there wasn't a lot of stuff said, but there is some very, very cool things, okay? I'm going to go over pretty much everything they were talking about and give you guys some answers to a lot of the questions that I know you guys have been asking for a while. So, to answer everybody's question, Streets of Tarkov is coming this year. Right now, the location is going to be a section of Streets of Tarkov, and they're currently trying to optimize it and make it look good and optimize it to run with, 30 to 40 players is what Nikita said is they want it running at. Now, when it releases, it probably won't. Maybe it'll be higher than any other map we've seen so far. Maybe it'll start off at 20 or something like that. So the team is very hard at work getting Streets of Tarkov ready to go before the end of the year. And they want to get it running at 60 FPS for like standard settings and stuff. So they have a lot of work to do on it. And from what I could tell, it sounded like the location was pretty much done. And now the hardest part is going to be getting it to, run well and not absolutely fry your PC. So moving on from Streets news, we've got the Lightkeeper. He is still being worked on and they're not going to tell us anything about it because they want it to be a surprise. It's also going to be a core aspect to the single player, or not the single player, but the story rather. So they're still not saying anything on Lightkeeper, but it's still being worked on. Soon TM. Audio is also being reworked. Steam audio is going to be replaced. They're hoping to complete it this year and the audio will hopefully be better. So I am very excited for this because the audio right now in Tarkov is one of the biggest things that's really holding it back in terms of gameplay. And Steam audio for me never really changed anything. Binaural audio or whatever you want to call it. I never found it great. In fact, I often found it worse. Steam audio is being replaced with some kind of new system that will hopefully be here by the end of the year. They're also going to be doing a charisma soft skill rework. They didn't really elaborate too much on that, but the charisma skill is going to be reworked. Also, body armor light and heavy skills are going to be changed. So this might have something to do with being able to wear these rigs without it weighing down your PMC so much. And also, leg and foot positions will be made more real in like the 3D animations, just to make it look a little bit more clean and crisp and realistic. Now, one big thing here, storyline quests and all of that stuff related to the storyline quests will release with the release of the game. It will not be on the beta or the test servers. So they're keeping a very, very tight lid on all of the story quest stuff for Tarkov. And it is only going to be available when the full game launches, I guess. Moving on from that, we've got some new zones and areas of the Hideout. There will be a gym. The gym has been confirmed for the Hideout as a new addition. As far as the other new zones and areas and stuff, we haven't had any other news or information on that yet. They didn't elaborate. But he did say that you would be able to use the gym to train your strength, which is very cool. Because training strength in Tarkov is a bit of pain in the ass. And being able to do that in your hideout or advance it more quickly in your hideout is always a very nice thing. So happy days. The gym will be in the hideout. And as far as the new zones and stuff, we're just going to have to wait and see what they do. Moving on from that, they're also going to have a new grouping and friend system. Interestingly enough, they did mention this like as they were talking about the hideout stuff. So maybe that's going to mean there's going to be like a segment in your hideout that you can use to group and, add people and stuff like that. And maybe the whole friendsless interface and all of that is going to be contained within the hideout. They are also working on FSR 2.0. For those of you curious about the progress of FSR, and Nikita said whenever it's ready, we'll just release it. So whenever that comes out, we'll have it as soon as it's ready. They're also working on new volumetric fog and some new weapons. Of course, it's Tarkov. There's always going to be new weapons. But interestingly enough, they are working on new volumetric fog. So I'm hoping that this will replace the old fog system in the game and make it better, because the fog that's in Tarkov right now, it's okay. It's definitely a lot better than it used to be. But a new fog system could be very, very cool. Moving on from that, the advanced armor hitboxes might be this year. Most likely next year, though. They've got a massive to-do list for this year, and they said that it is just not high on the list of priorities right now. The AUG is almost ready. They showed a little demo of the AUG on the podcast. It was just the standard model, just firing it off. It had the MP5 sound effect. So they are almost done with the AUG. The model looks good. The animations look good. They just have to get the audio going. And then there's probably another few bits and pieces that they have to do with the gun and texture it and stuff before it is actually ready to go into the game. So we'll probably have the AUG by the end of the year. Not really sure. Maybe it'll come with the Streets patch. Now, the unconscious state is near and they want to show it this year, but they also have to do like all new ragdolls and stuff like that for this. And obviously systems need to be incorporated into the game to allow players to be, you know, brought back into the raid once they're in the unconscious state. Nikita mentioned that like stabbing your teammate with an adrenaline to like get them back in the fight is going to be a thing as well, but there's a lot of features and subsystems that they need to change to make it work, is what Nikita said. So this is obviously planned, it is obviously coming, but it's going to take them a while to get it, you know, to where they want it to be. Also, they said there was a chance to knock players down with like grenades and stuff where you'd get like knocked on the floor. Didn't elaborate too much, but that kind of freaks me out because it's you get knocked down on the ground, but you're not in the unconscious state, so you like pick your PMC back up off the ground. So they didn't really speak too much on this, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see what their plans are for that. So a couple of little things here. The new Glock animations for the Glock 18 from what I saw, and maybe they will also apply to the Glock 17, I'm assuming, because they're more or less the exact same gun. And they looked really nice. They just had a quick little video of showing the new animations for the gun. It just looks cleaner, a little bit updated. Glock is a pretty old pistol in EFT, and they finally decided to give it a little bit of love. Nikita also mentioned that the M16 is in fact planned. Also, very exciting news here for offline co-op enjoyers. They are planning to add tons of new stuff to this, and there will be like options and settings and all that kind of stuff that we can go through and do to make our offline raids a little bit more customizable. They showed a video of the SR2MP. For those of you that don't know what this is, it is a fully automatic SMG or PDW that fires the 9x21 rounds, which is the ammo that the SR1MP pistol uses. And a lot of people have been really looking forward to this gun being added to EFT. I gotta say, from the footage, it looks absolutely fantastic. It is a great looking gun and it looks really fun, and it could be the new MP7. It might be the new meta CQB gun, but we will just have to wait and see when it comes out. And it pretty much looks damn near ready to use. Also, Nikita did mention that the Honey Badger is planned. So shout outs to all the Honey Badger enjoyers out there. It is planned. Also, the Tequila Hammer. So Nikita got a little bit cryptic on this and said that, you know, there's some features planned for it. So it seems like we're going to be maybe at some point able to acquire Tequila's Hammer. Maybe we could use it to break down walls and stuff like that on streets, or maybe they'll add other locations to other maps in Tarkov, to where we can use the hammer to break down walls to access loot or passageways or extracts or something like that, which sounds really, really cool to me. So that's a little bit of speculation on my behalf, but Nikita did get kind of cryptic on it. So I'm assuming the Tequila Hammer will be an equipable melee weapon, or at least an equipable weapon in the weapon slot that we can maybe use at some point in the future to break down walls to access new locations. The AK-12, the AK-15, the TR-3, these are all planned. Nikita said they want to add, you know, as many AKs as they can to the game, and all of these guns are planned. So for anybody wondering about the 12, the 15, the TR3, they are all coming to the game, okay? Custom rigs are frozen right now because they have more important stuff to do. So custom rigs is that, you know, you make you get your rig. So let's say you get a black rock and you can like add slots to it, remove slots from it, add 2x2 slots to it, add 3x1 slots to it, and take them off and put in whatever you want to customize your rig. They straight up said it is frozen right now, and it is just not on the list of shit to do right now because they have so much other important stuff to do first. Nikita also mentioned that the M1 Garand will not be coming to Tarkov. We're not going to have the satisfying Garand ping in EFT, and it is just not coming. So that is what Nikita said. Unlucky, lads. Vaulting animations and everything is planned, and they're working on it, and it will be here at some point eventually. Also, Nikita did mention that a compound bow and a tactical crossbow will be added to EFT. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. I saw somebody in chat ask about it, and Nikita actually did say on the podcast that he didn't like bows and stuff like that. So compound bows and regular bows and, you know, crossbows and all that kind of stuff is unfortunately very likely not going to be coming to EFT. And then the last thing that was said is point 13 will be streets. So lads, that is pretty much all I've got for you. So a lot of cool stuff, you know, a lot of really cool stuff. There wasn't really a whole ton of stuff mentioned, but it is, you know, it is what it is. And hopefully during the next podcast, they might have a little bit more stuff to show us and share with us. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comments what you're excited to see, what you're looking forward to the most. And lads, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys on the next video. Peace out, my dudes.